Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, ask and answer a question, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and for the last time in 2024, you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This is the final episode of 2024, and I'm not going to raise awareness of any causes or celebrate anything, so it's just going to be a regular show. But I am going to kick things off like I usually do and give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode I asked, which year did the DC character Lobo make his comics debut? Well, the correct answer is 1983. And 8 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, Renee's been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Angel Rivera. Now, this is someone who answered directly from YouTube. So congratulations on Hell, you win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Fantastic Four question. Which member of the Fantastic Four was born and raised on the fictitious Yancy Street in Manhattan? Is it A, Mr. Fantastic, B, the Invisible Woman, or C, the Thing? Now here's a few hints to help you out. The first hint is that both Michael Chiklis and Jamie Bell have played this character on the big screen. And then the second hint, this character is famous for coming up with the Fantastic Four's war cry, which is, "It's clobbering time!" Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. So, I gotta ask, any questions?
Questions I walk around in, questions I can thrive in, questions I will survive in, questions.
This question comes from John Stout from Bastrop, Louisiana. He asks, should Superman wear the red trunks as part of his costume? Keep it classy or modernize it? Should they have changed the chest emblem logo? This is a James Gunn discussion also from his Superman movie. What do you think? Well, John, now, originally, Gunn did not want to go without the red trunks, but believe it or not, David Corenswet talked him into it. He talked both him and the costume designer into it, and they're going to move forward with that. Now, as for the chest emblem, or the S, when I first saw this S, it looked familiar, and I couldn't put my finger on it. It took me a while to finally realize it, but then a few weeks ago, I saw this page from an issue of Superman 1 million, I think it was. Now you're probably wondering, Superman 1 million, what was that? Well, in the late 90s, I want to say it was 1998 and all the way through 1999, DC had put a halt on their monthly books, and they did this this publication-wide event called DC 1 million, where we started seeing what the characters would look like in the year 1 million. And along the way, they were talking about the history of all the characters that took on the mantle of Superman after Clark Kent had hung it up. And there was his son had taken up the mantle, and if y'all don't believe me, here's what it looks like. Check it out. Yeah, so that's what the logo looked like. And when I saw that, that's where I saw that logo from. So, but I'm quite sure they're going to use Clark Kent. I hope they don't use Jonathan Kent. If this happens, then about the whole world needs to have a come to Jesus meeting with James Gunn. But I guess Gunn has a fascination with that version of the Superman logo. I mean, I don't know. One thing about Gunn, he is a comic book nerd and he knows his stuff. And he's practically taken several elements of each character and incorporated them into the movie. Notably, the Superman movie is coming out in theaters this coming summer. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I saw the trailer. The trailer did not disappoint. I hope they don't come out with another one. They don't need to come out with another one. That's it. If they come out with another trailer, they might as well just release the movie directly to DVD and stream it on Max. Because if that doesn't make you want to see it, then all power to you. But that makes me want to go out and see it, and I can't. And honestly, July 11th can't get here any sooner. All right, really loving these questions y'all are asking me. Y'all keep them up. I have quite a few of them that are going to run all the way through episode 514. But I will gladly take more. And make sure that your question has to do with comics or the show, and they could either pertain to me in terms of both the hobby and the show. But please, no personal or tasteless questions. I will neither ask nor answer them here on the show. All right. It's time to get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up is Absolute Wonder Woman number 3. Action Comics number 1081. The Amazing Spider-Man number 64. Batman the Brave and the Bold number 20. Detective Comics number 1092. Exceptional X-Men number 4. The Flash number 16. Green Arrow number 19. Iron Man number 3. Justice League Unlimited number 2. Power Girl number 16. Rogue Son number 24. Spider Boy number 14. Superman number 21. Time Slide One Shot. Ultimate Black Panther number 11. West Coast Avengers number 2. And finally, X-Men number 9. Alright, that's 18, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 13,356. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode, the final episode of 2024. And here's a question for a free tee for the first episode of 2025. Which member of the Fantastic Four was born and raised on the fictitious Yancy Street in Manhattan? Is it A, Mr. Fantastic, B, the Invisible Woman, or C, the Thing? Now here's a few hints to help you out. The first hint is that Michael Chiklis and Jamie Bell have both played this character on the big screen. And then the second hint, this character has a war cry for the Fantastic Four in which they say, "It's clobbering time!" Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Angel Rivera, who won a free tee on this episode. Now, this year, the year 2024, I've had quite a few ups and downs. Mostly ups. But I'm thankful for the downs because that made me appreciate the ups even more. Got a chance to be a vendor once again at the 4th annual Sinlaw Collector Con in Marksville, Louisiana. I've already agreed in principle to run it back for the 5th annual, which is on June 7th. And it's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then a few days after that, I got a call asking if I would be a guest at the 1st annual Louisiana Delta Comic Con in Monroe. And there was just no way in the world I could say no to that. For those of y'all who don't know, now I was born in Minden. I was raised right out here, but I lived on both sides of the Washita River for 7 years. I lived in both Monroe and West Monroe, and it was while I was living in West Monroe that I started doing the Comic Hero Show. So it was a homecoming for me, and I mean, it was on a great day, and not just because it was on my birthday, but anytime I get to come to Monroe for anything, it's always, I feel very blessed to do so because that's where the show got its start. And I met some familiar faces, I met some new faces, I had a great time, and can't wait to run it back later in 2025. But yeah, great year. And I'm only anticipating what's to come in 2025. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode 507, it's the first episode of 2025, and I'm going to wear a Comic Hero Show shirt, a Comic Hero tee in observance of that. Sorry, for those of y'all who don't know, I love doing this show. Now, I haven't gotten around to make the shirt. I've designed it. I've come up with a design. I'm going to make the shirt tomorrow, and then right here on YouTube, I'm going to do a YouTube short. Now, if you're watching this directly from YouTube, I'm going to give away 5 t-shirts on episode 507. And your job, and this is only for folks that are watching this directly from YouTube. Your job, if you want to be entered in a drawing for a free shirt, all you have to do is leave a positive comment. Now, for everyone else watching this on social media, or if you're watching the raw file on any of the Facebook pages, your job is to either, I'm going to post it on there as well, and your job is to either like, love, or leave a positive comment. And everyone who does so will be entered in the drawing, and the drawing will take place at the very end of episode 507. So y'all stay tuned to that. Then on episode 508, I'm going to raise awareness of birth defects. January is Birth Defects Awareness Month. In episode 509, I'm going to show some love to whoever wins the college football national championship. And then on episode 510, I'm going to raise awareness of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is a cancer among women. I know some women that have beaten it, and I know some women that have lost their battle to it. And this episode is for them, and it's also for the family of the fallen. But y'all, I love doing the show. I love it, and I'm going to keep doing it until I'm physically unable to. That was a promise that I made a long time ago, and I stand by that promise. But yeah. All right, I'm Victor. Oh, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome. As soon as you're done, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the East Texas Comic Con fans Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the Louisiana Delta Content Creators Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. All right, I'm Victor Nolly on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next year for episode 507. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and sayonara 2024.